So we have discussed the preparation of accounts yesterday, right? So we have looked into the meaning. We also looked into the consignor's book wherein he's preparing 4 accounts. So consignment account is a nominal account. All expenses and losses debited to the consignment will be debited in this account, and any income and gain, if any, will be credited. Coming to consignee's account, it is a personal account, and this account is prepared to find out the balance due from consignee. So it is debited with the gross sale proceeds and credited with the advance received from consignee, expenses incurred by consignee, commission due to consignee. And the final balance for this account will be the amount due from consignee. Goods sent on consignment account is a real account. It has only 2 entries. One entry is for sending the goods on consignment. The second entry is for closing the account by transferring the balance to trading account. Coming to the consignment stock account, it is a real account. The unsold stock, whatever is left over with the consignee, is to be valued and brought back to the consignor. So for that, we pass an entry and we credit the consignment account with this value. Right? Now coming to the books of consignee. In consignee's book, he will open only one account called the consignor's account. And the consignee's account in the books of consignor and consignor's account in the books of consignee will be exactly opposite to each other. So both the accounts will have the same transactions, but they'll be opposite because one would be receiver and one would be the giver. They are all personal accounts. And both the accounts will show the same balance. Right? So now we are coming to the next step, which is called as the steps in consignment. So we have looked into the accounts which the consignor and the consignee are preparing. Now we need to look into the various steps in consignment. See, if you remember these steps in the same order, it will become easy for you to write the journal entries and prepare the ledger accounts. Every time follow the same sequence of the steps. As the steps are proceeding, you will write the entry and you will transfer it to the ledger account. So the step number 1 is goods sent on consignment. So first, just remember it as a story. First, the consignor is sending goods on consignment. So that is our step number 1, goods sent on consignment. Now what happens when the consignor is sending the goods on consignment? He will incur certain expenses. Like maybe he'll have to incur loading expenses, the transportation expenses, or packing expenses to load the goods. So all these will be the expenses incurred. So step number 1, consignor is sending the goods. Step number 2 is consignor is incurring some expenses on the consignment. Right? Now, consignor's part is over. He has incurred the expenses. He has sent the goods and he has incurred the expenses. Now, goods are traveling from the consignor to the consignee. So, before the goods reach the consignee has to give some advance to the consignor because consignor is sending the goods. So, as a means of security, the consignee has to pay some advance to the consignor. Now, how will the consignee pay advance? He has various options. Either he can pay cash, either he can give a check, either he can pay through bills of exchange. So if the consignee is paying through bills of exchange, consignee will accept the bill and give it back to the consignor. So the one who is paying, for him it is called as bills payable. For the one who is receiving, it is called as bills receivable. So if consignee is giving advance in the form of a bill, for consignor, we will call it as bills receivable because he is going to receive. For consignee, we will call it as bills payable. Right? So our step number 3 is consignee will give the advance. Now, after giving the advance, consignee will receive the consignment. So once he receives the consignment, what should he do? He need to, after receiving the consignee will have to spend some expenses on that. So what type of expenses? Again, consignee will have to unload the goods. He will have to incur the transportation cost to take the goods from there till his godown. He might be incurring some packing charges, some selling expenses, all those expenses. So our step number 4 is expenses incurred by consignee. Please once again see it from the beginning. First step, goods are sent on consignment. Second step, consignor is incurring the expenses. Third steps, goods are traveling. So at that time, consignee is paying advance to the consignor. Step number 4, consignee is incurring certain expenses and taking the consignment. Now, next step number 5 is consignee will sell these goods to the outside customers. So step number 5 is sales made by the consignee. Now, after the sales are made, what is to be calculated? The consignee's commission has to be calculated. So that is our step number 6, commission due to consignee. Right? After the commission is also calculated, the next step is to look at the unsold stock, if any. So if any stock is left over, then that is our step number 7, to look at value the unsold stock. After valuing the unsold stock, the consignor will now calculate the profit or loss on the consignment. So that is our step number 8, calculation of profit or loss on consignment. Then step number 9 is we need to close the goods sent on consignment account. So that is the step number 9, closing of goods sent on consignment account. And the last step is to find out the balance due from consignee. Right? So just if you remember these steps in the order, for each step we will write one journal entry and then we will transfer the ledger accounts. Or another easy method here is, just remember these 10 steps. Seeing these steps, we will first prepare the ledger accounts. Then looking at the ledger, we can easily write off the journal. Even that is simple. So we have two options. Either we first write the journal and then prepare the ledger, or otherwise directly from the steps we will prepare the ledger accounts, and then looking at our ledger we will write off the journal entries. Right? So remember these 10 steps in order. First one is goods sent on consignment, then consignor's expenses. Step number 3 is advance by consignee. Step number 4, expenses incurred by consignee. After expenses, consignee will make the sales. Once sales are done, we can calculate his commission. After the commission part is done, we will value the unsold stock and then calculate the profit or loss on consignment. After that, we will close the goods sent on consignment account and finally calculate the balance due from consignee. So that means there are 10 steps in consignment. And for all these 10 steps, we need to write certain journal entries, either in the books of consignor or in the books of consignee. We will have to look into that. Right? So am I clear with these 10 steps? Yes? Is everyone understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What about the others? Kiranmai, Hepzibah, Asha, are you all understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you have to remember these 10 steps
Yes,
as
ma'am.
it is. Right? Remember all the 10 steps in the same order. Then all the problems in this unit will be very, very easy for you. So we will just look at the pro formas of accounts now. Now look at the consignment account. So the consignment account will appear like this. Now, once again, think back about your steps. What is your step number 1? Quickly tell me, step number 1 is? What is the step number 1?
Send off goods.
Yeah,
Consignment.
goods sent on consignment. So as I told you, in consignment account, this is a nominal account. So all expenses and losses will be debited. Any incomes and incomes or gains, if any, will be credited. Right? So we are starting with the consignment account. Our first step is goods sent on consignment. So this is something like purchases and selling the goods, sending the goods. So we will write the first entry as 2 goods sent on consignment account. I just wrote the short form here. We need to write the full form, right? So the first entry will be in consignment account, 2 goods sent on consignment account. Now look at the second step. Our second step was expenses incurred by consignor. And remember, who prepares this consignment account? Tell me, who is preparing the consignment account? Consigner or consignor?
Consigner.
Consigner. Consigner is preparing. So our step number 2 is expenses incurred by consigner. So when consigner is incurring the expenses in his own books, he will write the entry as either to cash or to bank. For the expenses, right? It will be entry would be consignment to cash. So in the consignment account, we'll write the entry either as to cash or to bank. And in brackets mention their expenses of consigner. That is our step number 2. Now coming to our step number 3 is advance given by consignee. So if advance is given by consignee, that entry will not appear in the consignment account because it will be advance received and the other person giving. So there is no question of consignment account here. So that entry will directly go to the consignee's account and the consigner's account. So just leave that entry right now. Now coming back to step number 4. 4 is expenses incurred by consignee. So if consignee is incurring the expenses, we will write the name of the consignee. So in our consignment account, you will write the entry as to consignee. Because this is the account prepared by the consigner. So whatever expenses the consignee is incurring, the consigner will directly write as to consignee. So whatever is the name of the consignee, we will write that. And in brackets, it is expenses of consignee. Right? So we are done with 4 steps. Now step number 5 is sales made by consignee. So sales is an income. So in consignment account, the sales entry will be credited. And these sales are made by the consignee. So we will write the entry as by consignee's account for the sale made. Right? By consignee's account. Next step is calculating the commission of the consignee. Commission is again an expense for the consignment. So again, it will be debited. You will write it as to consignee. We are writing as consignee because this commission is due to the consignee. We need to pay it to the consignee, right? So to consignee in brackets commission. So once again, look at the steps. First step, we are debiting here. Step number 2, expenses of consignor. Again, we are debiting. Step number 3, advance by consignee will not appear in consignment account. Step number 4 is sales made by consignee. We are crediting it because it's an income. Step number 5, first was expenses and then was sales, right? And then coming to commission of consignee, again we are debiting because it's also an expenditure. Now, after that, we need to value the unsold stock. So as I told you, unsold stock is something which we are getting it back. So that will again be credited to consignment account. So I'm crediting it by consignment stock account. And remember, unsold stock is also called as consignment stock. Yes, someone was saying something? Anyone has a doubt? Okay. So after consignment stock, we need to calculate the profit on consignment. So remember, debit side is your expenses, credit side is your incomes. So if your incomes are more and expenses are less, then it is a profit, and the profit will be transferred to P&L account on the debit side. So you will write the entry as to P&L account. If in case your expenses are more and incomes are less, then you will get a loss and you will transfer it to the P&L account on the credit side as by P&L account if there is a loss. So with these entries, your consignment account will be closed. And every time you will get only these entries in the consignment account. That is only 6 entries. Goods sent, expenses of consignor, expenses of consignee, sale by consignor, sale by consignee, commission, unsold stock, and P&L account. So only 7 entries, 4 plus 2, 6 entries, and 1 entry for your profit or loss. That is the balance entry. Either you will get an entry for profit or for loss. So only these entries will appear in the consignment account every time. We are still left over with 2 steps, right? So now we'll proceed to the consignee's account. So I told you about the consignee's account. It will be debited with the sale proceeds and it will be credited with the advance, expenses, commission, and finally the balance. See, there are 2 options for the balance. If consignee is paying off the balance, you will write the entry as by bank or cash. If consignee is not paying the balance, you will write the transaction as by balance carried down. So you will just write the balance and close the account. So this is how the consignee's account will appear in the books of consignor. Your sale amount will be debited. Whatever advance you are receiving, expenses, commission, and balance entry. So that means there will be only 5 entries in the books of the consignee's account. Now look at your third account, goods sent on consignment account. So as I told you, there will be only 2 entries in this ledger account. One is for transfer, sending the goods on consignment. So in consignment account, if you see here, we have written it as 2 goods sent on consignment. So in goods sent on consignment account, we will write it as by consignment. And this account will be closed by transferring the balance to trading account. That's it. And this is the consignor account. As I told you, it will be exactly opposite to consignee's account. In consignee's account, you were taking sales on the debit side. Here, you will take it on the credit side. And all these transactions were taken on the credit side in consignee's account. Now you will take it on the credit side. So these are the major 4 ledger accounts which we will be preparing every time. Consignment stock account is not compulsory. If he is asking you the question, then we prepare it. Otherwise, no. So are we clear with all the 4 ledger accounts? Consignment account, consignee's account, goods sent on consignment account, and consignor's account. So are we clear? So now what we will do is, first we will write the journal entries so that we don't have a confusion, and then we will start with the problems and the ledger accounts. So quickly open your notebooks, put the heading as journal entries for consignment, and all of you need to write this now. Yes, so make a pro forma like this. We will write we'll put the serial number, we'll write the reason for the entry, and together we will write the entry which will appear in consignor's book as well as the entry which will appear in the consignee's book. So I'll wait for a minute, quickly put your heading and draw the columns and put the headings. I'm waiting for a minute. Be quick, we just have 20 more minutes. We'll finish off with the journal entries part. Yes, are the columns ready? Do we start off with the journal entries?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the others?
Yes, ma'am.
2 minutes, ma'am.
Quick, be quick. Draw the columns quickly. We need all these journal entries now. I'll wait for 1 more minute. Yes, we will start now. We know our steps, right? So we will take all those 10 steps and then we will write the entries as it will appear in the consignor's books and the consignee's books, right? So step number 1, what is our first step? Goods sent on consignment. So this is our first step, right? First step is goods sent on consignment. So write the reason there. In the reason, step number 1 is goods sent on consignment. So in the consignor's books, we will write the journal entry and then we will write the journal entry in the consignee's books. So when goods are sent on consignment, our entry will be consignment account debtor. One second, I'll just reduce the font. Yes, so our entry will be consignment account debtor to goods sent on consignment account. So I'm writing the short forms here. You can write the full form. So whenever goods are sent on consignment, see the journal entry, it is consignment account debtor to goods sent on consignment account. When we come to consignee's books, consignee will not write any entry for this account. Why will consignee not write any entry? Because consignee is nowhere related with the profit or loss on consignment. See, consignee will write the journal entries only when it is related to his transactions. Otherwise, he will not write the journal entry. Right? Are we clear with the first entry? So whenever goods are sent on consignment, you will write the entry as consignment account to goods sent on consignment account in the consignor's book, and there will be no entry in the consignee's books. Now see the next one. What is our step number 2? Tell me the step number 2 quickly. You need to tell me the steps to write the journal entries. Yes, and
Expenses of
Consignor
consignor.
yes, so expenses of consignor. That means consignor is incurring some expenses. So when consignor is incurring the expenses, in his books, he will write the entry as, it is again expenditure to consignment account. So the entry will be consignment account debtor to either cash or bank account. Right? If he is paying through cash, he will write cash. If he is paying through check, he will write the entry as to bank account. Right? Now these are expenses of consignor. So will consignee write any entry about that? No, consignee doesn't need consignor's expenses, right? So no entry again. Because consignee doesn't want to know about consignor. He will write entry only when he is involved. Right? So step number 2 is done. Now come to step number 3. So tell me, what is the step number 3? What is our step number
Consignee
3?
expense.
Not
Consignee
consignee's expenses.
Advance, ma'am.
Advance is not.
Consignee will first pay the advance before getting the goods. See, remember your steps. Before receiving the goods, consignee has to pay the advance to the consignor. So when consignee is paying the advance, what is happening with consignor? He is receiving the advance. So he will write the entry as either cash or bank or bills receivable. Why is this font increasing every time? Okay, so consignor will write the entry as cash or bank or bills receivable account debtor to who is paying this advance? The consignee will pay the advance.
Consignee.
So we'll write it as to consignee account. So if the consignee is paying advance through cash, consignor will write it as cash to consignee. If he is paying through check, he will write it as bank to consignee. If he is paying through bills receivable, he will write it as bills receivable to consignee. Now what about consignee's book? Will consignee write this entry? Yes or no? Tell me quickly, will consignee write this entry?
Yes, ma'am.
He will also write. So what entry will he write? He will write the reverse entry. He will write the entry as consignor's account debtor. So he will write it as consignor account debtor to either cash or bank, or for him it would be bills payable because he is the one who is paying the bill. Right? So consignee will write this entry as consignor account debtor to cash, bank or bills payable. Are we clear with the first 3 entries? See, every time you will be passing the same entries. And these are all very, very simple entries. So now we move forward to the fourth entry, right? Now tell me the step number 4.
Consignee expense.
Chinese expenses, correct. So right there, step number 4 is your expenses of consignee. So we will write it as consignee's expenses. Now for consignee's expenses, what entry will we write? Can anyone tell me the entry now? Which account will this entry be taken into? Consignee's expenses? It will again go to consignment account because these are related to the consignment, right? So consignment account debtor to consignee's account. Now, why am I writing consignee's account? Because consignee is incurring these expenses and I'm writing this entry in the books of consigner. So consigner will write it as consignee's consignment account data to consignee's account. Now, when you come to consignee's books, what will be the entry in consignee's books for the expenses? Yes, tell me what will be the consignee will write the expenses as? He will write the entry as consigner account debtor, consigner account debtor. Why is he writing consigner account? Because he'll get these amount reimbursed later, right? Consigner account debtor to cash or bank, however he is incurring them, right? However the consignee is incurring, so consigner's account data to cash or to bank account. Now move forward to the next entry, the fifth one. Fifth step is, after consignee's expenses, what is the fifth step?
Sales account.
Yes, it is the sales made by the consignee. So write that, sales by consignee. So for the sales made by consignee, both of them will write the journal entry. So consigner, how will he write the journal entry? What entry will the consigner write? Is it an income or expenditure for the consignment? It is an income, right? So he will write the entry as consignee account debtor. Excuse me. Consignee account debtor to consignment account. And now consignee will also write this entry for the sales made. Consignee himself is writing in his books. So he will write the entry as cash or bank for whatever sales he has made. He is receiving the money. So he will write the entry as cash/bank account debtor to consignor's account. Right? Cash or bank to consignor's account. Next, we move forward to the sixth entry. So after the sales, what is the next entry?
Commission.
Commission of consignee. The next entry is commission due to consignee. So again, this commission is also an expenditure for the consignment account. So we will write the entry, the consigner will write the entry as consignment account debtor to consignee's account, because this commission has to be given to the consignee. In brackets, you can write the entry as commission so that you remember that this is not an entry for expense, it is an entry for commission. And then what will be the entry which the consignee will write? He will write the entry as consigner is paying him this. So consigner's account debtor. Where did I write? Sorry. Consigner account debtor to commission directly. To commission account, because this commission is still due. He has to get it reimbursed from the consignor. Now, what is the next transaction? After the commission, what is our next step?
Unsold goods.
Yeah, valuation of unsold stock. So we will value the unsold stock and write an entry, and this is again as a gain back for the consignment. So it will be credited in consignment account. So the consignor will write the entry as consignment stock account debtor to consignment account. So write the entry consignment stock account debtor to consignment account. To consignment account. When you come to consignee's books, consignee will not write any entry for unsold stock because he is nowhere related to unsold stock. He will only send back the goods to the consignor. That's it. So he will not write any entry for that. So just write there as no entry in the books of consignee. What is our next step after consignee, after unsold stock?
Profit and loss.
Profit or loss. So as I told you, if it is profit, it will appear on the debit side. If it is loss, it will appear on the credit side. So if it is profit, we will, okay, we need to write the entry as profit on consignment. So if there is profit on consignment, you will write the entry as consignment account debtor to P&L account, because we are transferring the profit to our profit and loss account. And again, consignee will not write any entry in this case because he is nowhere related to profit or loss. And if there is a loss on consignment, you will write the entry for loss. We will write off that entry also. If there is loss on consignment, you will write the entry as
consignment account data to loss account.
no, P&L account data to consignment account. The entry will be reversed, right? It appears on the credit side. In this case also, consignee will not write any entry, right? Now, after the loss, what is the next step? Quickly, we need to close the goods sent on consignment account. So, closing, write the entry there, closing goods sent on consignment account. So, to close this account, we will write the entry as goods sent on consignment account debtor to trading account, because this account is always closed by transferring the balance to trading account. Again, consignee will not write any entry in this case. We are left over with our last step, that is balance due from consignee. Balance due from consignee. For that, the entry the consignor will write is however he is receiving the balance, either bank or cash or bills receivable, account debtor to consignee's account, because consignee will give him this balance, right? To consignee's account. And consignee will also write this entry. For him, the entry will be reversed. He will write it as consignor's account debtor to cash or bank or bills payable. That's it. So we are done with all the entries. See, we had only 10 steps, but we are writing 11 entries. Can anyone tell me why is it so?
Profit and loss. Profit and loss.
Because for profit or loss, you will get only one entry. If there is profit, you will write the entry for profit. If there is loss, you will write the entry for loss. So if you remember these journal entries, it is very, very simple for you to do the problems. Or either remember the ledger account, and from ledger you can write the journal. So we are done with all the